by the fact that Hawaii has enacted a statute that regulates the use of electric arms or broom?
That's a good question. So number one, it's not moot because we have a damages aspect. And if we remember New York Rifle 1, of course it was against New York City, but the Supreme Court held that if there was a damages component, which they did not have in New York Rifle 1, then it wouldn't be moot because we still had something else the court could give us. Now we have a state defendant, right? So it's a little bit different. We have sovereign immunity to contend with. But apparently the state didn't do anything with sovereign immunity except raise it in their answer once in a little line where sovereign immunity. They didn't press it in their summary judgment briefing. They didn't press it in their motion for summary judgment. And we have lots of cases that are cited in our briefs, our reply briefs, that say, the state can't, it doesn't exactly say this, but the gist of it is the state has to continue to press its sovereign immunity defense. It's something that can be waived, and that's just straight up Ninth Circuit precedent. I believe this, I'm going to say it wrong, I'm sorry, Aholele, 488 F 3rd 1144, which was cited in
This is
the states.
simply arguing.
The issue of whether the state defendants waived their sovereign immunity, so it obviously can be waived, is purely a legal issue which can be decided on the record that has been developed.
Sorry,
in
it's
the
a little
court.
bit
The Ninth
jumpy.
Circuit exercised their discretion and considered the waiver issue. In that case, they found that the state did not waive their sovereign immunity because, they filed their answer raising it, but they also briefed it in their summary judgment motion, and the court granted, based on that sovereign immunity in the summary judgment motion. Here, nothing. We have the answer 2018, 2019. And then right when
Hopefully
we
you guys
said
can still
we still
hear
have
it.
damages,
All
this
right.
case is a moot. We have sovereign immunity. But that's not the way it works. They have to it's an affirmative defense. You have to press an affirmative defense by a motion or by some other means. Argue it in your summary judgment brief. You can't delay and then come in at the last minute and say, sovereign immunity. Sorry that you wasted all this time and money doing this.
Let me jump in real quick,
Yes,
Bob, because you got 3 minutes before your rebuttal. Bottom line, what do you want us to do in this case?
Okay, bottom line, this case is not moot because we have a damages component. The state has waived their sovereign immunity. I would ask that it be remanded. I'm searching for my words here because I don't think if this court remands it back down to the district court that the district court is going to do anything. And I can tell you that I know that because if we look at the excerpt of record 009, this case has stayed, the court will not act until the Young proceedings have concluded. Young has obviously been GVR'd and is going to go down to the en banc Ninth Circuit. Procedurally, I don't actually understand it, but en banc, then 3-panel, and then maybe back to the district court judge. When is that case going to be concluded? Who knows? So what I want the court to do, what I'd like the court to do is say that when a plaintiff comes in, granted you have discretion, you can't just not rule on something. And I don't care what case it's for, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the abortion rights right now. If we had a really conservative judge in Idaho, are they going to hold a case saying, we're just not going to rule on it? Because there could be some other case coming down. And either way, I think it's wrong.
So you're looking, it sounds like an order from us saying that district court remanded the district court in light of the Supreme Court's latest decision, the New York case that just came down, and just say that the district court shall expeditiously resolve this case, or something with instructions like that.
Right, and I think what it's going to be is on the damages aspect, because I think the taser bill, I'm going to be candid with the court, the plaintiff has his taser now, right? And it took a long time. This law was signed in July of 2021. It went into effect in January. They wouldn't even give people tasers until March and April. We ended up having to sue Maui again to get them to start giving licenses to sell tasers. So I think the portion of it about taser, that's moot. We've got tasers now. I think the portion on damages is not. And as the Aholele case says in Star 4, that's a purely legal issue, and the court can exercise its discretion to answer that.
But is that before us, or should we remand that issue to the district court?
Well, for the sovereign immunity, I think this court can answer it if we look at the Aholele case. But whether or not, the amount of damages, I think that has to go back because the district court, of course, never ruled on it, and this is a court of review and not a first view. So I think that's appropriate. But I'm concerned going back down, Judge. I mean, just completely honest, I'm very concerned. So
No, it's always important to know what you want us to do.
Right.
So I want to make sure.
I have
we're
no
clear
idea
on
where
what we
Rich
wanna-
is.
All right, thank you.
What's
Thank
up,
you so
guys?
much.
much. Okay, Mr. Nakatsuji?
The video should get clearer in a minute. I'm doing a lot of processing. I'm processing the video in the background, so it's kind of a.
Good morning, Your Honors. My name is Robert Nakatsuji, and I'm a Deputy Attorney General for the state of Hawaii. I represent the defendants' appellees in this case. May it please the court. Your Honors, this case is moot on many different levels. The
This dude's
entire
like
case is
4
moot
feet tall.
because the primary statute challenged by plaintiff, HRS 134-16, was repealed, was expressly repealed by Act 183. The other statute challenged by plaintiffs, HRS 134-51, it either never applied to electric guns in the first place, or that claim was also rendered moot by Act 183. We ask the court to dismiss this appeal, remand to the district court with instructions to dismiss the entire complaint with prejudice. This appeal is moot on another
Which
basis as
prejudice
well.
means that they cannot bring it
As
back up.
the court knows, the US
Without
Supreme Court has
prejudice
issued
means you can
decisions in the
refile.
Bruin case as well as in the Young case. So therefore, the district court's stay has expired on its own terms. So there's really nothing left of this appeal. So this court definitely could dismiss this appeal. However, we're asking the court to rule on mootness. And the reason why we're doing that is to give guidance to the district court. I think if a decision from this court
Stun
very
guns,
clearly
G-Lep.
says that this case
Stun
is moot,
guns.
I think it will end litigation. It will prevent this case from coming back here on another appeal. And in a year, we'd be arguing about the very same issues all over again. As for Mr. Stamboulier's argument about the damages claim, I like to point out to the court that one of the original defendants in this case was Chief Ballard, who is the Honolulu Chief of Police. And so she's a local official, and therefore the damages claim was related more toward her possible liability under Monell liability as a local official. But Chief Ballard was dismissed from this case pretty early on. So the only defendants left are state officials acting in their official capacity. So 11th Amendment immunity
Exactly.
protects these officials. So
Tuesday.
there really isn't a damage claim anymore. Now,
Have you waived your
I don't believe we have waived anything, Your Honor.
Argued it? Did
We-
you argue it below?
Your Honor, we raised it in the answers to the complaint. In addition, when the motions for summary judgment were being litigated, those motions focused on the Second Amendment aspects of 134-16. In fact, they really didn't even get into 134-51 or anything else for that matter. So those motions actually didn't address all the claims. They were more in the nature of partial motions for summary judgment. And so when this case goes back, there's nothing preventing the judge from addressing other issues such as any possible 11th Amendment immunity or any damages. And I'd like to remind the court that no judgment was entered in this case. This case is up here on a stay order, an appeal of a stay order. So there's
It's
no
about
judgment. This case is
Stun
interlocutory.
guns, tasers.
And when a case is
Vec-
interlocutory, the
this
district
is a-
judge can revisit any decision or make new decisions.
The
So,
lawyer
when this
arguing this
case
is
is
the same as
remanded,
arguing you.
There's nothing preventing Judge Gilmore from addressing any other issues, including any possible money damages that might survive an 11th Amendment immunity defense.
That sounds then I'm trying to see what the difference is here of opinion between you two at this stage. You're saying the district court can handle everything below. That sounds like then we should remand the case.
Well, Your Honor, it's really a matter of black letter law. The state is immune to money damages claimed under the 11th Amendment. So I believe this court could very clearly rule on that and avoid further litigation in the district court. I think, Your Honor, this issue
So
of
are you saying
tasers.
that we reach the 11th Amendment issue here in the first instance, or do we remand?
Your Honor, I'd like you to address it in the first instance here, just to provide guidance, because otherwise we're going to keep litigating this case over and over again. Your Honor, the whole issue of tasers and electric guns, that's a dead issue. It was basically dead when the Cayetano versus Massachusetts case was decided by the Supreme Court. That really kind of put everyone on notice that really tasers are not a viable issue. And since then, courts everywhere have been amending their statutes, settling lawsuits. Courts have been issuing decisions. It's really an issue that really needs to be put to bed. we've done that by amending our statute, and yet this litigation continues. I'm asking the court to make a clear ruling that this is moot. There is no case or controversy left here. There's no point in continuing to litigate this in the district court or on another appeal to this court.
Whenever they know
This
they're
matter
going
has
to
to be
lose.
put to
I
bed.
mean,
There are so many other issues regarding the Second
No,
Amendment that are
the
going to have to be addressed as a result of
the
Bruin case.
attorney that's
So
going to be on the
wasting
show
more
today
judicial time and
is
resources,
Stephen Stimbolier,
arguing about a
who's
case that
arguing
is
Young
moot
versus
on many,
Hawaii.
many
He's going
different
to talk to
levels
us
just
about Young
doesn't make
versus
any
Hawaii.
sense.
But he's
Your
the guy
Honor,
sitting down right
Mr.
now.
Stambuli, I think, admitted that his client can get an electric gun. And that is really not disputed.
I think he said he has one.
Even more so, Your Honor, if he already has one. Because, the city and county of Honolulu is granting seller licenses. The sellers are selling to consumers.
He's going to be on the show. So I
I don't think
decided to
it's
just go
disputed
live a
that
little
you
bit
can
early.
get an electric gun. So there really
Just so you
is no
guys
case of controversy
can
left
see 'em.
here. And this matter really should be put to bed. Now, Your Honor,
Counsel, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did you make the 11th Amendment argument you're asking us to adopt now in your brief to this court?
no, we did not, Your Honor. Well, actually, I did, actually, in my brief. I argued that any lingering damage claim would be barred by the 11th Amendment. So yes, in my brief, I did argue that. Anyway, Your Honor, there are other issues in this appeal, jurisdiction. Again, if the court
Well,
wants to rule on jurisdiction,
you
it
can
can.
buy
I
them
don't
now.
think it has to
They
do anything with
amended the
whether
laws to
the
try
rule
to
on
head off this
mootness.
lawsuit.
As far as
That's why they're
jurisdiction goes,
going for a
no,
mootness.
this case was stayed just pending U.S. Supreme Court decisions. That's not unusual. It wasn't the kind of lengthy or definite kind of stay that other cases have struck down. As far as the merits, I think events have proven that Judge Gilman was correct. The Bruin case has completely changed the Second Amendment analysis. So it was actually wise for her to stay this case pending Bruin, given what happened. So there are other issues in this case that this court can address.
No.
But again, I'd like to just go back to the whole mootness issue. Your Honors, this case really, it needs to be put to bed. The time and the resources that are being put into this really are a complete waste for the judiciary as well as for the parties.
So I don't see where you argued sovereign immunity in your brief.
If you give me a minute. Your Honor.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm seeing somewhat of an argument on page 18 of the answering brief.
Sovereign immunity means they
and
can't be sued
potentially on
for damages.
page 19. But I stress potentially because it certainly was not, it's not being made as with the force it was being made with today in the briefing to this court.
Well, Your Honor, yes, I raised the 11th Amendment issue on 18. I understand, Your Honor, that you perhaps might have wanted me to argue more, but, I couldn't do another response. I had to put it all in an answering brief and I had no opportunity to respond to their reply. But in any event, Your Honor,
Then do you think it's more appropriate for the district court to determine whether or not you've waived sovereign immunity?
Your Honor, the district court could rule on this if this court wants to. But again, this is an issue that really needs to be put to bed. The whole issue of tasers, stun guns, it's really not a viable issue anymore. And to continue to waste time and resources arguing about this when there's a statute that is allowing people to buy tasers and electric guns, it just makes no sense. So if that is all, Your Honors, thank you.
Thank you very much, counsel.
Now you're going to
Members, Your
rebuttal.
Honors.
Yes.
So I just have a couple things. We heard my friend say 2016 Caetano decision, it ended everything. And yet Hawaii, here we are in 2022 with a electric gun repeal bill that didn't go into effect until January 1st of 2022. And if it really was as dead as my friend says it is from a 2016 Supreme Court case, which I think it was too, then why wouldn't the district judge rule on it? This case was brought to her in April of 2018. 2 years after the Supreme Court ruled on it. It's a clear-cut issue. Stun guns are protected. Hawaii has a ban. It doesn't matter what intermediate scrutiny means, and we don't have to get into any of that because Heller was very clear. Categorical ban, it's invalid. I'm overgeneralizing, but that's basically the gist of it. And yet here we are, and I keep going back to this "here we are" thing because I'm in front of court. I'm spending my own money to be here because it's important. It's important for the judges to have to rule on these cases, even if they don't want to. It's fine; they have to rule on them. We are doing this case under 1983. I'm paying out of my own pocket for all of this. So I have, I'm very not emotional is the right word, but it pains me when I have a client that can't get his relief in court. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. We had another case in front of Judge Seabright, another case in front of Judge Kay. Judge Seabright stayed the case for a few months pending Young, and then immediately lifted the stay and gave us a ruling. We won in his case. We lost in Peter, which is also before this case. It doesn't matter if we win or lose. We get a judgment from the court. That's my client's right to get a judgment. We're in the court. And I'll say one other thing. Young's not done. Young's not done. And my friend says that Young's concluded. It's not concluded. And we have the mock case that we cited to in our opening brief, where it talks, Hoying Young, where it says that we have, if we're going to be stayed on an indefinite stay pending some other case up to the Supreme Court, then we have a remand. And it goes on and on. When does it end? And I'm hoping that you can answer that question. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, counsel. I think both counsel for an excellent argument. Roberts versus Cummings will be submitted. And we will take up Calmo Mendoza versus Garland.
All right. So basically, that is it.
Susan, there's a little. Her thing going.
We're going to have Stamboli on in a little bit. I know my video is a little bit choppy here. That should be clearing up anytime now. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that stream. Steven is going back to his hotel, and hopefully he'll be joining us shortly. What the hell is going on? It's really weird looking at my screen. I'm so out of sync. But yeah, it should clear up in a second. Weird. I don't know if you guys are hearing me in real time or whatnot, but it's kind of weird. I see Rich is joining. Maybe Rich can take the lead and tell my video. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Crumpy.
My video. I'm rendering a video in the background, and this is my beach house computer, so it's not as powerful as my.
Could be worse than mine.
Well, it should clear up in a minute here. I know my lips are out of sync, so I'm
Are we
just gonna
live?
turn off my. We are live. I'm just gonna turn
Okay.
off my camera for a second. So
Thanks.
turn it
A
back
lot
on
of
in a
people will appreciate that. Type F if you appreciate Crumpy turning his camera off.
yeah. Whatever, jackass. It's not bandwidth. It's actually memory blockage. I guess you could say.
JSD supply typed F. I was going to wear my JSD shirt. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, mine's back in Virginia, but I'm going to be leaving here in a couple hours to go back to Virginia. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. So you couldn't have went to Virginia yesterday for a very special picnic barbecue party. Huh?
No, we're not going to talk about that.
We're not talking about that.
No, we can't talk about
that. So since I've known John Crump, you have no idea how much stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Speaking of other things we can't talk about, that magic powder doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I know. I told you they change it up like every week.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So I'll try to get another look at the magic powder again. To change it. But it was good while it lasted, right?
Indeed, it was.
I'll just say I found a way to boost videos like artificially. Well, not really artificially. It's just understanding how the algorithm worked, but they changed it up today.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. So, Rich, how are you doing? I'm running to see if Steven will be coming on here.
Good, good. You know,
Mm.
I was kind of surprised. I left my phone in the office here, and I come back. You're like, "Are we joining?" I'm like, "Because my work computer is Central Time Zone." I'm like, "Did I do a time zone screw?" I'm like, "No, it's 4 o'clock, not 5 o'clock yet."
Yeah, we basically are waiting for Steven, but yeah, it's he was arguing the stun gun case where they're trying to say it was moot, but he's suing for damages, and then they're claiming sovereign immunity.
Hmm. And as they would. So Lavino Latino is watching both on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, nice.
G Webs. We got G Webs John Galt. So John Galt is out there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
D&T
another big story
Designs.
to drop.
Is that the
Hopefully
big
it
story I know
drops.
about?
Yeah, it's a big story you know about. It's
I
just
didn't do a video about it yet.
taking well, it's taking time for everything to process, but it's still supposed to be this afternoon, which is interesting because it is going to be early afternoon, and right now it is late afternoon.
It's some afternoon somewhere.
Yeah,
So let's
crazy,
see.
right?
Holy cow, we got a lot of people with us. So Joe Drag, Bubble Wrap Oracle, Chris Bullis, Joe Morgan.
All right, let me. It's almost done processing the video in the
Are
background.
we on the
so
news
it should-
channel also, or?
No, just the live channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot more
All right,
people.
it looks like it's starting to smooth out. It's 99% done with the video that I'm dropping tomorrow. Not the one. Can we have the Flying Ridge loophole? No, you cannot. Okay, so guys, yeah, Twitch is hard, dude. It's very freaking hard. All
Yeah.
right, so guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and with me is my co-host, Flying Rich, the guy that flies planes. I got to start my pilot stuff again since my shoulder
Oh, yeah.
it's not totally recovered, but it's better. Just because
I got to start my pilot stuff again. I need a biannual flight review and a medical.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's done processing now. The pilot stuff is interesting because I had to wait until I got my shoulder in a condition where I could use it, and it still hurts. I had the same surgery that Nicholas Backstrom of the Capitals is getting, and he might miss all of next year because of it. But he's getting it done to his hip. I had it done to my shoulder. It's basically resurfacing where they cut the bone and they resurface the bone to fit better into the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it takes a while to do, but yeah.
But just I'm already flipped out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we talk any current events or no?
Yeah, we can talk current events. New Jersey is passing a bunch of or signing a bunch of gun laws to basically try to counteract Bruin. All these states are trying to do this, like really the stuff which are going to get smacked down for, and they know they're going to get smacked down for.
We've seen this before. I mean, this is Palmer versus the District of Columbia, right? I mean,
Wren versus the District of
It wasn't
Columbia.
Palmer, it was Wren.
It might have happened in Palmer too.
Yeah, because I read, I did a little bit of reading on this, and it said Palmer basically made it constitutional carry in D.C.
Oh yeah, it was
in 2014, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. On Palmer, it was Palmer. Sorry. Yeah. So what happened in DC is DC kept on trying to play fast and loose by they kept on changing the regulations, and they go back and they would change the regulations again. They go back to the court, they'll get struck down, and the court got really tired of it. What the hell? I have no idea.
So wait, which court was that? Was that like the district court?
Yeah, the district court in DC. Hold on, I'm gonna try to shut down some stuff here. See if I can get. no idea why
So,
I'm
but
all
the court that would
sketchy.
have jurisdiction over New York State would be the Southern District Court, correct? Or which court is that?
Yeah, this this is not like Palmer. This was up to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
This was this was a circuit court decision in Palmer,
Okay.
and am I
So
still? I have no idea.
if
I'm gonna have to reboot.
if
I'm
these
just gonna turn
states,
off my
let's just
camera.
say these states, because like New York, New Jersey, California is all doing this crazy crap. Basically, New York outlawed concealed carry almost everywhere, and even at a private business, unless you have a sign that says carry is allowed. So basically, nearly all public places, parks, places of worship, homeless shelters, transportation.
Yeah,
So any kind of transportation, boat, subway, train, fill in the blank, skateboard,
yeah. They even made
sidewalks where stuff happens. It just,
they even made all of Times Square a sensitive area.
which it's always been a sensitive area. Anyhow, so in the Bruin decision, Thomas, in 69 pages, went through like, hey man, don't try that crap. Everything New York
Yeah,
State did in their like emergency, controversial, supreme emergency, scare the daylights out of the people session and pass this law in the blink of an eye. Everything they're doing, Thomas said in his decision, not going to fly. So the
yeah.
question
So
is, this law violates what Thomas said. Who's gonna, make it so?
yeah. So do you want to go over what the New Jersey? I'm just gonna stop my camera. This is
Yeah, I'm not
ridiculous. I
familiar with
have
New
no
Jersey, what
idea.
New Jersey's up to, but
I'm gonna stop my cameras. This is what New Jersey is up to. They are requiring. Hold on, Rich. I'll be right back. You hold down the fort for a second.
okay, sure, no worries.
I gotta.
So
It's like my whole
I'll just
thing is
post
lagging like
pictures
hell.
of my feet, and I'm sure people will be okay with that. So after Bruin, New York got worse. Yeah. So they want 3 years of your social media accounts. They want 4 references. They want to know everybody that lives with you. Again, the concept, the difference between shall issue and may issue. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating to you folks, so the Bruin decision written by Judge Clarence Thomas, patron saint of the Second Amendment, he said basically that all states are now shall issue. There's no, in the difference between may issue and shall issue is that shall issue is, hey, here's objective criteria, like you had no felonies, you had no misdemeanors of domestic violence, you get a permit. Where may issue is you may pass all of those bars, but they just don't feel like giving you a permit, and they don't.
Yeah, they can't do that anymore. All right,
But they're still kind of doing it.
Steven's waiting for his driver to get back to his hotel so he can jump on with us. All right,
Okie dokie.
so let's go ahead and we'll talk about the. Am I still lagging?
You look okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
you
go
are
ahead.
lagging.
Shit. All right, I'm gonna reboot my computer. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to get.
So I think anybody have any questions on shall issue and may issue? So now New York, New Jersey, whoever is making all sorts of hoops for you to jump through. Why is my computer digging? Okay. They're making all sorts of hoops for you to jump through to get your permit. So it used to be that you had to show a special need, and the special need was like, I'm a celebrity or I'm carrying large sums of money. Otherwise, you won't get a permit to carry in New York State. There, so states like Florida have, I'm just gonna unplug this. States like Florida have preemption, and what that means is other counties or lesser governments than the state can't make up their own gun rules, and except for like waiting periods. That's the only exception in Florida. So they could have a greater than 3-day waiting period, which 3 days is the standard waiting period. If you have a permit, you say, I want those guns, you do a 4473, you get them, walk out. So what happened is Clarence Thomas's decision in the Bruin case, all 69 pages of it, it's actually longer. And when I was going through it, I said, hey, there's a lot of Easter eggs in it, because it seems to me like it paves the way for somebody to argue based on the Bruin case that Clarence Thomas wrote for constitutional carry. There's a bunch of other things that seem to be in there, but Thomas foresaw what New York State was going to do in the Bruin case and said, hey, you can't declare all sorts of places as protected gun-free zones when historically they weren't. So now all of a sudden, subway systems, transportation systems, churches, homeless shelter, pretty much they just, looked at a map, figured out what everything was called, and said, these places, you can't carry a gun. So you can carry a gun on a sidewalk in New York City if there's no street fair protest, constitutional. It's the exclusions are tremendous. You can't ride a subway, a bus. I don't know about a taxi or an Uber, but maybe if you say that an Uber is a private place of business, they would have to post on the car a sign that says firearms are permitted.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, good.
Hopefully this is better. If not, I'm going to be searching for a new computer for my Delaware place.
Well, you're in the right state to buy one because there's no sales tax.
Yeah, it's true. I will get one of the new MacBook M2s. And it looks like I'm lagging again. What the oh my goodness. I have no idea what the hell is going on.
So pretty much in New York, they've kind of defined the space the size of the eye of a needle in which you can have carry privileges.
Yeah, didn't she say something like on some streets?
So if there's a constitutional protest, if there's a street fair, if there's tell me in New York City where there's not a street fair.
That's what I said when I was doing the thing. It's like everywhere, if you go on the weekends, you'll find a street fair. All right, it looks like I'm pretty much stable now.
I mean, your computer, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I should just get. I know the M1 chip for the Mac Pros are reduced. They reduced them down to like $17.99.
The M1s are cheap.
Cheaper. I don't know. I'll just wait till the M2s. I was gonna order
So-
an M2, but it was out.
I'm kind of excited. A few weeks back, I was ready to pull the trigger on buying myself like a $3,400 MacBook Pro M1, and they were not available. The lead time was like August something to when they would be available again. So I'm kind of glad I didn't put an order in or buy before that, because now the M2 is out.
Oh yeah. So you can get a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Let me see here. It's only 512. That sucks. I'm looking. I mean, sold out. See right here.
Crumpy, do your online shopping later.
Okay. Oh well.
We got like 46 people hanging out. Don't
All right.
waste their time.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. I just really need. I'm so poor right now. I can't afford it. Yeah. Just joking. So the M2, yeah, I want an M1 at home, but the M2 is just it's like 30% faster.
So Jeremy's saying the M1 is pretty good. I know you got an M1, Crumpy. One of the things that I've seen in product lines, and this is cars, computers, everything, don't buy the first year it's out, because next year they usually include more bells and whistles at a better price.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
So Ron Wayne says, look for a good coupon code. I don't know that there are coupon codes for Mac products, but I could be wrong. I'm not a Macophile. Other than their laptops, I'm Android everything else.
Yeah, but they have Endorama actually has the Mac Pro
Adorama?
M2. Yeah, Endorama, like 13 point with the 10 core GPU. I might actually get this one.
Oh, cool. So you are still online shopping.
Sorry.
So we have this emergency John Crump Live because Steve Simbolier is going to join us.
Yeah, he'll be joining us shortly here.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
We're
I'll
waiting
order
for his Hawaiian Uber to get him back to the house,
Yeah.
back to his hotel.
I'm going to order it. I'm going to order it next week because I'll be back. I'm going to Virginia.
And you want to get it at your house in Delaware so you don't have to pay tax? Well, I mean, if you have your EIN number for your business, you can order it and not pay tax either.
Yeah, but that's a pain in the ass.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely a pain in the ass. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, yeah, my whole laptop is.
Isn't one of the perks of working for Black Swan Media is we get free MacBook Pros every 2 years?
I have a MacBook Pro at my house that's from like 2018.
All right, so I'm running off my phone here, but my /desktop, which is really my MacBook Pro, is a 2012. So I do use the F out of them.
I'm gonna try to open up another window here to see, just to test out to see if I start lagging here. Am I good so far? Or? Let's see here.
You're dropping frames.
I have no idea what's going on here.
So is it your turn to have technical issues? Because
I just buy a new freaking MacBook, man. I don't care.
Now that I have my technical issues solved, it's your turn.
Yeah, I guess so. I definitely guess so.
All right, so Atomic Bulls dropped. Let's see, boom. So New York added social media checks for 3 years, 16 hours of class, 2 hours of live fire class, where you need to score 80% ammo background checks and 99% of the state is off limits to carry. So 16-hour class basically is 2 8-hour days. I did a 4-hour class that was incredibly inclusive when I got my Minnesota permit. And we had to do live fire, and there was some accuracy And believe it or not, everybody else in the class I took was re-upping their permit, and I was going for a new permit and hadn't shot anything in probably a decade, and I scored better than the other guys.
Nice.
So I was
Very-
pretty freaking excited.
That is very, very nice. Yeah. So, as we're waiting for Steven to get on here, let's give a little bit of background on Steven. Steven is the attorney in the Young versus Hawaii case, which is basically another Bruin, but in Hawaii. Hawaii has some really screwed up firearms laws and not very friendly, and Steven is arguing cases out there. Steven works for GOA as well. He works with Rob Olson, and I work with him a lot on different things.
And
might-
I
might be coming
saw just a quick Google search. Stephen has worked with other gun organizations in the past.
Yeah, Second
correct?
Amendment Foundation, a bunch of different ones. He is 100% on board with 2A, and he is a really good guy. Actually,
That's freaking excellent.
yeah. So Steven will be here shortly, and hopefully we will have an announcement during the whole entire when he's here. We'll
So we're
find out shortly.
expecting another announcement on another case.
I hope so.
Okay.
Well, if not, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, so New Jersey passed a bunch of kooky laws out there that,
Just like New York.
yeah, well, all these states are scrambling to get through to try to head off any damage in their eyes damage to the Bruin case caused by the Bruin case.
You mean freedom? This thing called freedom. They're
Liberty and
working
freedom, yes.
hard against liberty and freedom. So it's not like they're about to dox anybody, are they? I mean, every gun owner.
Like California, yeah. But if you have that, don't use it, or you can be guilty of a crime if you downloaded it from the government. All right,
Yeah,
let's go.
if you
Okay, so New Jersey, this is their new restrictions. It's regulation of ammunition sales, basically background checks for ammunition.
oh my god. Each
Regard-
time?
Yeah, require gun owners who move from out of state to register their firearms and obtain a new firearms purchaser identification card. So even though you're not buying any firearms, you still need the firearms purchaser identification card. Mandate training to obtain that card, which must be renewed every 10 years. So now you have to get training to even buy a gun. It gives the Attorney General power to bring legal action against gun manufacturers and retailers.
Oh shoot.
Basically, they want to do nuisance cases, basically, like what we're seeing outside New York. When New York is suing a bunch of different gun manufacturers and gun companies that produce or sell polymer 80s, including Brownells and Primary Arms, 80% Arms, and a bunch of other ones. So all these gun states are passing these laws. Yeah, Jeremy H. Here in California, I have to do a background check every time I buy ammo, so it can't be shipped to my house. I have to pay them $1 for the check. Yeah, that one thing I like about living in Virginia. I ordered about 1,000 rounds of 9 and 1,000 rounds of 5.56. They came right to my house. But who knows how long that's gonna be done?
That's
before-
freaking tyranny. That your ammo.
Yeah. because with the whole UPS, if you don't know, UPS has
I was going to
started,
ask about that. Yeah.
yeah, they
So,
have started destroying P80s that are being shipped through them.
well, how do they know a P80 is in a box?
They X-ray it.
Wow. So, what gives UPS the right to destroy a legal item that I ship?
Apparently, it was because these companies were shipping to states where it was not legal, so therefore they killed their account and they're going to destroy all their
So,
products.
Brownells is shipping to places that aren't legal, is what you're telling me.
Brownells, according to New York, they made some undercover buys.
Really?
Yeah, I would bring up the whole entire all the stuff, but
So now Brownells is banned from UPS, and will FedEx follow that Brownells can't ship anything? Which
I'm gonna put this on mute for a second. Hold on.
Dan Bongino talks about we need an alternative, fill in the blank, whether it's credit card processor. We need something that's right friendly, or in our case, specifically two-way friendly. Whether it's like Tusk cryptocurrency or, two-way commerce, something that we can do business with people and not worry about being canceled, because this is crazy. If the three ways, I mean, I don't know of other methods, but the three ways that you can ship is FedEx, UPS, and USPS. I don't know about dollar deals that companies are better one way or another. But it also seems to be a bit of an invasion of privacy that UPS is X-raying products, X-raying boxes. That's kind of nutso. Yeah, here's the thing. Not that I know everything about Brownells, but let's put it out there. Nobody wants to do anything wrong. Brownells is not intentionally trying to do anything wrong. JSD Supply is not trying to intentionally do anything wrong. Anybody that manufactures firearms are trying to abide by the letter of the law. So I guess the next thing, Chris Bullis says he wants to see proof that New York bought from Brownells. I'm wondering if it's some gray area of entrapment that they got them.
My big story has been delayed until tomorrow.
Big story delayed till tomorrow. So we can't talk about the big story.
No.
Can we talk about what state the big story's in?
No. I can't talk about anything about it.
Just that it's a big story.
Yeah.
Good. I didn't record a video for the big story, so.
Yeah. So
I still got time then.
You still have time. Yeah, we can't talk about anything about it. So
the title will be Big Story.
So as of right now, zip it. It's I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, you just don't say. But good stuff. Good stuff's coming. Let's say that. How's that?
Yeah, that works. We can't say that. We can definitely say that. So, Rich, who do we have on for the rest of the week since we're killing
Nobody.
time until...
Nobody yet.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So I might as well drop my Eric Falwell video then.
Oh?
Yeah.
What's Eric Swalwell up to?
He posted a picture of the mass murderer, which we don't say names to show pictures of, from yesterday, and posted it next to a picture of Lauren Bobart, and
Oh shoot!
said you can draw a direct line.
How?
He's an idiot. How.
So Lauren Bobart is a House of Representatives member, and she carries in the House, right? She concealed carries.
Yeah.
So what does I'm carrying right now? I'm Crumpy. I'm assuming you're carrying right now. Does that mean we're equally as guilty?
Apparently, yes. His director of communications called everyone pro killer.
Pro killer. Do you know why I carry? Because I'm anti-killer.
Yeah, well, that is yeah, they double down, and yeah, so he is saying, so Bobart brought up the fact that his dealings with a certain Russian spy, and that Russian spy pumping him for information, literally.
You mean Chinese spy?
Yeah, Chinese spy. And she called him
Fang Fang.
Fang Fang. Yeah, that's what she called her.
So let's see. Estaro K? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So they're talking about a credit card company. So Two-Way Commerce is a great place to go.
For a credit card company?
Yeah.
Yeah, Two-Way Commerce. Just let me know. I mean, I'll hook you up.
We'll hook you up.
Yeah, my son is what's up, Matthew?
So I went to the seashell today and I got a puppet. That doesn't even move.
So I kind of laid the pieces out. I didn't put it all together, but I'll put it together for you right now. So similar thing happened. Let me roll back to 2014, July 24th, 2014 in DC. Post Heller decision, DC made up all crazy laws like New York and New Jersey saying you can't this, can't that, blah, blah, blah. And what had happened is the court, let's see, Judge Frederick Scullin said, well, guess what? DC is now constitutional carry until you come up with reasonable procedure for granting concealed carry licenses in DC. So all of a sudden, that that was kind of a crotch punch to the pricks that are controlling the permits in DC. And I can guarantee you a similar thing will happen to New York and New Jersey, because Clarence Thomas in the Bruen decision already wrote, don't try any of this BS. I'm ready for you. And they're doing the BS. They already signed it into law in New York. So New York, I'm waiting for them to have constitutional carry as a court order until they get their permit process straightened out. Now, New York signaled that they were going to do this, and I don't know if Thomas, just based on the Heller versus DC issue and Palmer versus District of Columbia, wrote that into his decision, or that he heard what they were saying, because they were signaling that they were going to do something like this, so that he wrote that into the decision. So they are not in compliance with the Bruen decision by Thomas. And I would highly expect, I don't know if there's a trigger, if a lawsuit has to happen, but I would highly expect that they're going to get a warning of some sort saying, hey, we're going to make New York State constitutional carry and, you know, waive all gun laws until you come up with a reasonable permitting method. So, Crumpy, you got a DC permit, right?
Yes.
And what was the permit method? Was it difficult to do?
No, you have to get some training. No, it's like 10 hours training, and then you have to go down to like the DC Police Department and file in person.
Mm-hmm. So not bad, but 10 hours of training is kind of a lot. Like I said, I did 4 hours of training to get my permit in Minnesota, and we had to do, you know, qualify and score, and it consisted. I think it was timed also, so you didn't have all day. You had to, you know, shoot, you know, with reasonable accuracy within so many seconds. You know, so many rounds within whatever area of the target. I don't know the specifics, but Atomic Ball says never will happen in New York. Now, are you saying the constitutional carry will never happen in New York, or are you saying that they will never give in and come up with a reasonable licensing scheme in New York? Because
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? What they could do is what happened in the DC case. I think that's what you are talking about, Rich.
yeah, yep,
Where they don't do it, the courts force them to do it.
right. So Atomic Bull says never to both. Never that they're going to make New York constitutional carry, and never that New York State is going to come up with reasonable licensing. Also, New York gun laws all have an origin with the Sullivan gun laws, which Sullivan had syphilis, and one of the symptoms of syphilis is paranoia. And because of somebody with a mental disorder, New York has those crazy gun laws. So that's the scoop on. So if you, first off, all gun laws are racist, and even more so. So if having voter ID is racist because you have to pay for an ID, in many states that require an ID will give you a free ID, but then they say it's racist because you have to have a car and only white people have cars or something like that. So if it's racist to charge $10, $20 for ID or require you to go somewhere to get the ID, how is it not racist that you have to have 10 or 16 hours of training, pay all sorts of fees, show up at multiple different locations, get fingerprinted, etc.? Even AOC was saying that it's racist, the new gun laws that passed.
Yeah, she was saying that's a racist to check
childhood records. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what AOC was talking about.
So Howard says there was a reasonable licensing process. Yes, it was highly subjective. You had to show a need. None of your rights guaranteed in the Bill of Rights have a needs test.
No, there's no second-class rights. So I don't think that their licensing process was reasonable, because they could deny you for any reason that they wanted to, and only the rich and powerful got licenses. And that's not the way the Constitution was written. The Constitution wasn't written for the rich and powerful. The Constitution was written for all Americans. And all men are created equal, which means all people are created equal. Although I do understand at the time that they didn't really see that, but that was the end goal. And by discriminating against Rich or I, because we don't have lawyers and thousands of dollars to be able to pay to get something through or have friends in high places in New York, so we would never be able to get the concealed carry permit. That created a second class citizenry, and that's just wrong. You know what a reasonable licensing process would be for concealed carry?
Basically, you pass like a 4473.
No, I don't think even that. I don't think
You're
that's
saying constitutional carry. You're an American citizen.
100%. Yeah, well, not an American citizen. You're in this country because
I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Did we lose you? Oh,
hold
okay.
on,
I heard
sorry.
a clip.
Cody was emailing, was texting me.
Which Cody?
Wilson.
That Cody. The Cody.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, if Howard is trying to say that the proper need is reasonable, then you should have to have a permit to be able to do this internet show like we have, or a permit
First
to be able to
Amendment,
speak your
right.
mind, or journalism to be a journalist or write
You
for a
should have-
paper. They have to be sanctioned by the government. They have to complete a licensing process to be able to report on news, which
Or
is,
to practice your religion.
yeah, you have to have, to be a Catholic or Jewish or whatever. You need to go get a license to be Jewish.
There's 5 rights covered in the First Amendment. It's freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and to petition the government. And none of those do you require any paperwork or anything. Like, none of your rights require anything other than being here in the U.S. You have those rights. Those are your God-given rights. And the Bill of Rights doesn't grant you those privileges or rights. They tell the government, F off, those belong to the people, period.
Yeah.
And I don't think, what's fascinating to me is my daughter, when she was in, I don't know if it was high school or middle school, but she had a thing and it talked about the Second Amendment. It didn't actually give you the Second Amendment. And it said, some people think this means you have the right to keep and bear arms. It's like, it's one frickin' sentence. Just show them. If you're teaching about the Second Amendment, how about you put the text in? But they had a full page about people believe that it gives them the right to keep and bear arms. Right? Ron Wayne says you got to fight for your right. Yes. What was that? The Beastie Boys?
Of course it was the Beastie Boys. What the hell, man?
I haven't listened to music in forever. Or, I mean, I always think about Twisted Sister,
Dee Snider.
Yes. Fellow
That's-
Long Islander.
That's more from your age group. I mean, I don't know. Beastie Boys. No, I'm just saying Beastie Boys was, I was in 3rd or 4th grade when that song came out. You were like, I don't know, like
100. Yes. Thanks, Groom.
no, you were out of college, I guess. Right?
No, I don't think so.
What year did you graduate? What year?
I graduated high school in 83.
Well, then you were out of college. Out
Yeah?
of high school, at least. I'm sure it came out after that.
No idea.
I mean, I don't know, man. Steven's running really late.
So it was super important that we started at an hour early, right?
No, I wanted to stream his stuff.
Oh.
That's why. Last time I heard, he was waiting on an Uber driver.
So were we going to stream the court hearing? Is that what
We
we're going to
did.
do?
We did do it.
Oh, you. Oh, okay. All right. I had no idea.
Yeah. There you go, buddy. Yeah, we did do it. We streamed the court case.
Uh huh.
That was the stun gun case.
Okay. All right. I just looked at the timer and it says, yeah, we're 105. So I didn't realize how long we've been on the air for.
Yeah. So I was hoping to have them on by now, but stupid Uber drivers.
He's getting a latte, getting some pork and spam.
Dude. Freaking in the Philippines, they ate that crap up.
Spam?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, they used to eat that crap like all the time. They used to love it.
Yeah, I've never been to Asia, so
Yeah. Really?
no, never been to Asia.
You should go, man. It's
Yeah,
freaking
I
great.
would. I would.
Why haven't you?
Well, right now, I don't know what the COVID regulations are, but I don't have the jab and I'm not getting it.
Dude, you should. Just try it. Not to get the
The-
job. I'm talking about go to Asia.
Yes, that's what I figured you were saying.
Yeah, I don't care if you get jobbed or not. It doesn't really matter to me.
Mm. I have an Asian member of the family. I'm looking at her right now.
I know. She liked one of your videos I saw. For Rich is like going to his daughter being like, you gotta like the video. Come on, Sky, like the video.
Click like on my video. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. And you can tell it was like she didn't watch it. She just like, oh, well, I'm just doing this to appease my dad.
Yep.
So yeah,
Indeed.
I know how it is.
Yes, Crumpy, you know. I'm sure you have cameras in my house somewhere.
I have cameras in everyone's house. What are you talking about? Yeah, but yeah, don't you?
So, of course I have cameras in my house. We
No,
do
and
that next week.
in other people's houses.
No.
Oh, or you should.
So, do you think New York State, New Jersey are going to get a smackdown?
I believe they probably will end up getting a smackdown.
Did you say would?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see them not getting one. Put it that way.
Because Thomas wrote his decision with saying, hey, New York, don't do these things. And New York did all of those things.
Yeah. And they were going to ignore it. And they know they're going to get on SmackDown eventually.
So how would that come? What would that look like?
Someone appeals to the court saying that they are in violation of the decision.
So would that be like an amicus brief? What would that be?
No. Amicus brief is basically when it's called like a friend of the court brief,
Mm-hmm.
where you just file saying this is what we think. We're not involved.
We're
don't
not a
have-
party to the case, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
but we believe strongly that this is the way it should go.
Gotcha.
And amicus brief comes in from attorney generals, other attorneys, other gun groups. Like GOA filed an amicus brief in the New York pistol rifle, the Bruin decision. And like NRA filed an amicus brief in the bump stock case, for example. And anti-guns people does it as well. In fact, Kamala Harris wrote a amicus brief in the Heller decision.
Really?
Yes.
So as California Attorney General, she wrote an
As-
amicus brief.
Yeah, as California Attorney General, claiming that the individual does not have the right to bear arms. It's not an individual right; that it is only a right of the of a military, which is always a dumbass reason. Because if you think about it, right? Think about it this way, right? You start trying to say, "Oh, they're talking about the military." What other right does the government say? Oh, we have a right for this in the Constitution. You know what
Right.
I'm
Yeah. The
saying?
military has a right to guns, and we're going to guarantee that.
We're going to guarantee the military has a right to gun. I mean, that's just dumb. It doesn't
Well,
really make
first
sense.
off, the subject of the Bill of Rights is the people. It's not the government, not the military. The thing that I always find amazing on the Second Amendment is you don't have to understand the language of the time, but if you understood contemporary situations, it's like, the colonists with guns fended off the world's superpower, and they wanted to take the colonists' guns beforehand so they couldn't. So we're going to make sure colonists have guns, period. And if you read the Declaration of Independence, it says that when a government becomes tyrannical, you need to overthrow it. And
Yeah.
it's damn tough to overthrow a government with sticks and stones, or without F-15s or nukes, or bicycle.
Oh well. Yeah, I got something coming on that dude later on.
Wait, what's this? There's a $10 super chat and we missed it?
I see it. Well, I've been doing other stuff on the other. Oh, okay, where? I don't see a $10 super chat.
Yeah, I don't know. And I apologize if I missed it.
Just update that you put a super chat in, and we'll read it because I have no idea. Where'd you see that we had a $10 super chat?
Dark said something. There's a $10 super chat in it if you and then cut it off. LOL.
Oh, he's making a joke.
Oh, okay.
Nice job, Rich.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Dark brings up a point. The founders of this country were completely against a standing army.
Yeah,
so
they would. They were.
The idea was to have a militia that was well regulated. Didn't mean with lots of regulations, meant in good working order. So this is, again, you have to look at the language of the time to understand the context. And I see we have Stephen.
We do have Stephen. All right, let me shut this all down then. Then I will get back on camera, and we have the one, the only, Mr. Stamboli. How are you doing, my famous lawyer friend?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Good. What's happening?
Not much. Not much at all, man. The
Good.
half Egyptian lawyer himself.
Oh, can't we get a half Asian lawyer like Steven Crowder?
I know, that's why we gotta have an Egyptian.
Well, I mean, we got Alan Beck. He's Vietnamese, right? Does that count?
That's
There you
Asian.
go.
That
Yeah,
qualifies.
there you go.
There you go. We've already introduced you, told people about you. You are involved in the Young versus Hawaii case, and you argued a stun gun case today.
I did. Is it too early to drink? Can I drink on camera?
Go
Go
right
for
ahead, I
it.
don't care.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You had to sacrifice and go out to Hawaii to argue a case in Honolulu. I mean, that's
Yeah.
such a
They-
sacrifice.
Man, they just love Second Amendment attorneys in Hawaii. I mean, they roll out the red carpet for us.
Yeah. The local GOA chapter had a parade for you, right?
Right. I mean, we did have an event with the Hawaii Firearms Coalition
Oh, cool.
yesterday down at Cocoa Head Range, and got to shoot some guns. Which I'm busy. I don't get a lot of chances to shoot guns. I just go to court a lot. But yeah, it was great. I got a lay, not laid, just a lay. The thing that goes around, and that was fun. And then argued today, man. Did you watch the argument? Did you live stream it?
We live streamed it, yes.
Ooh. Yikes.
That was interesting. They claimed qualified immunity, even though they didn't write qualified immunity anywhere.
Yeah, so it's a sovereign immunity case. I mean, generally the state, you can't get damages against the state because of sovereign immunity. And they did not do a good job in raising it. And the only thing they did was put it in their answer that they're raising as an affirmative defense, sovereign immunity. And that doesn't really mean anything to non-lawyers, but you have to press your defenses by emotion. They should have done something else, and they didn't do anything, and they've waived it. And so my client's entitled to damages. He's entitled to them. The state violated his constitutional rights to keep and bear arms by banning tasers and stun guns. Period. End of story.
All right. So you're asking it to be remanded. They want it to be dismissed with prejudice, which means you cannot bring it back up again ever.
It's such a funny thing to be out here and hear them talk about all this stuff. And he's like, well, when Caetano came out in 2016, it was I don't remember the death of the bands. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's a lie. All of the bands except Michigan, we had to file cases against these bands. And if the stun gun bans were dead post Caetano, it's 2016. What are we doing here that Hawaii just repealed their ban and it went into effect on January 1st, 2022?
Yeah.
Like my brain just kind of like, and it's stuck, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy saying? But hey, that's weird. My iPad looks like it's falling. Am I falling?
No.
Is it just me? Okay.
I think it's just you. Maybe you drank too many of those beers already.
Man, I just had like a sip so far. I figured I would just treat myself.
Yeah, a lot of time, the government really likes to use this moot stuff, don't they?
They don't want to rule on this case. The judge did not want to rule on this case. And what, just to give some context, we filed this case April of 2018. It's 2 years post Caetano, 2 years. If this was an abortion case, my client would have a 4-year-old right now. Because the judge didn't want to rule on it. And I think I got to do something with this iPad, dude. It keeps like tilting and it's making me funny. Can we take I'm sorry. I got a little iPad stand, so when I travel, I have to do these remote appearances. If you could just give me a second.
Sure.
Please. Sorry. It won't happen again, sir.
It's okay.
Now you got a nice close-up of my face. Live shows are the best.
Oh, yeah. Our show's a disaster all the time, so that's what makes us charming.
Yeah, well, welcome to my life. Okay, that might be better. If it starts creeping, I might have to just switch to something else. Okay, there we go. All right. So the court refused to rule on it. And, hey, buddy. And what they did was the first state we agreed to because the legislature was going to fix it. So it's like, well, why waste money? Why waste money? Because we're paying for this out of our own pocket. So why waste money? So we let the legislature attempt to fix it. And they, of course, didn't because it's Hawaii. They're not going to do anything until they're forced to. Then we briefed it, summary judgment briefing, which is, long, tedious. I mean, it takes me and Alan and whoever else I'm working with hours and hours and hours to sit down on a computer and just write and read a whole bunch of crap and then write more and then read more. So we filed that. And then we flew to Hawaii to argue it in November of 2019 during Thanksgiving. Like I had to come out here during Thanksgiving. Yeah. So
Well, why do you
November
always do
26th.
during holidays?
Oh, that's when the court sets it, bro. We don't get to say, oh, Judge, I'm sorry, we don't want to be there. I mean, sometimes you do because the first time was the day after my birthday. And it's like, I don't want to, I'm not going to Hawaii to argue on my birthday, leave my family at home because it's so expensive to come out here. You know, my hotel's like $1,200. My plane ticket's $1,600. I mean, it's real money. And I'm not like, you know, I haven't even been to the beach yet. I did go shoot guns yesterday. That's, you know, something that I did with the Hawaii Firearms Coalition out here. But anyways, so the court continued to refuse to rule on it. And then she said, I'll unstay the case pending Young. And so then, of course, Young came and went. And then she said, I'm not going to unstay the case. We're going to stay the case pending resolution in the Supreme Court of Young. Which, of course, what does that mean, resolution? Because now it's going to be, we
GVR.
wanted the Supreme Court. We got a GVR. Well, that goes down to the Ninth Circuit, right? And then it could go back down to the district court. When does Young conclude? Come on, tell me. I need someone to tell me when Young's going to conclude. No one knows. No one knows. So Mr. Roberts, my plaintiff in the Taser case, is just going to chill, right? Like that's not an answer. So that's what I tried to explain to the court. I think I did, you know, a fairly decent job at explaining it.
Yeah, because they can just keep on staying and staying and staying, and just so they don't have to roll a way they don't want to.
Right. And the guy, when he said that, I mean, this is, you know, I wrote it down on my mind, seriously, just kind of like a gear slipped when he said, you know, post Saitano, the stun gun bans are dead. No, that's not how it works, bro. Hawaii didn't do anything until we forced them to. And, you know, my client has had his Second Amendment rights violated. Pay him some money. Pay him some money.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's only fair.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like JFD was in here earlier on, and they're like, "Oh, being moot. That sounds familiar."
Yeah, right. Yeah, they withdraw the cease and desist, and it's moot. And I'm like, well, they could just do it over again. Like, Hawaii is so bad. You know, Hawaii looks at New York and they're like, hold my beer. Like, probably this one. You know, hold this beer and watch and see what we're gonna do. Hawaii is the only state right now, even though we have Young GVR from the Supreme Court, that's still doing the exceptional case, sufficient urgency or need nonsense that everyone else has stopped. But Hawaii.
Yeah, and that goes against Bruin totally.
They don't care. It goes. I mean, yes. I got to be careful. I got to be careful what I say. Let me turn this light off behind me real quick. It seems like it's.
No, you're looking good.
I know, but it's bothering me. So I can't be bothered. Okay. Sorry. All right.
Yeah, it's really pathetic, some of the stuff that like the government lawyers had to do, because they have unlimited funds.
They have they have unlimited resources of time and money. So
And
yeah,
he's complaining that it's like, oh, it's just a waste of resources. Judicial. Okay, come on. You know why it's a waste of judicial resources?
Because they're going to lose.
No, because we're here when the district court could have just ruled on it, right? All the other courts didn't have a problem, but this one has a problem. Interesting.
So do you think Hawaii's going to get sued again over their non-compliance at Bruin?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Hawaii has some of the worst gun laws. You know, we won on Yukatake v. Shikeda, which was the Hawaii registration law. And of course, Hawaii appealed it. And then they passed the new law where they put back in registration again. So like they don't care that they lose in court. They're going to do whatever they want.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can just pass a new law and put back the same thing that they were just told that.
Because they changed it a little bit, right? So
they changed an I to an E, whatever.
They change it just a little bit, but just enough to be like, well, this is a new law. But what they did was they put some kind of sunset provision in it, where if they win on appeal in Yukatake, then the old registration law comes back.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's some corrupt third world country stuff, man. You know, like this is America.
Would you say a banana republic?
Well, here there's pineapple, so maybe a pineapple republic.
Yeah, but, you should go to the Dole Farm. That's pretty cool.
I have been to the Dole Farm.
Freaking awesome. I love it.
Honestly, I didn't know how pineapples were grown, but I got to see them, and it's fascinating. So, but yeah, I don't know. Hawaii is a different place. It doesn't feel like America here. The people here are beat down. They don't know what to do. They know they want change, but they don't know how to go about it. And so that's why we're here, man. They need help. That's why we're here.
Why did you decide to get admitted to the bar in Hawaii?
Why did I decide?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I am not admitted to the bar in Hawaii. So the cases that I do out here with Alan Beck, I do on his license, Pro Hoc Vice.
Okay. So
So
that means
I'm
that
in-
they bring you in.
Yeah, so I'm admitted in the Ninth Circuit, right? Because I can't be admitted in any of the circuits, but like as far as getting admitted here in Hawaii, dude, there's no way.
I
There's
thought you
no way.
were.
No, I wouldn't do that to myself. Here in New Jersey, there's no way.
All right. So basically, there is a local council, and you practice under their admittance.
Yeah,
Their law.
Yeah, Alan Beck, who's on a lot of my cases with me, and who took on Young, and he's in Young. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's basically you need a connection somehow. It's really weird how all that stuff works.
yeah, and all the courts are different. So, like, typically in some of these states, some of these districts, just that you're a member of a bar of a state allows you to ask the court to be admitted in that court, federal court, not state court. But Hawaii's not like that because they don't want us litigating in their court. They don't want the mainland people, and we're all mainland people, coming over.
All the Howleys, huh?
Well, I didn't want to say it because, I know it's a pejorative, but I don't know how bad it is. So I don't know if YouTube will block that pejorative or not.
That they don't have any idea about Hawaii. I wouldn't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of crazy. So what's going on with Young? Tell everyone what a GVR is.
Yeah. So, okay, man, Young is such a sad case to me. So we've got this Vietnam veteran, Native Hawaiian guy, wants to carry a gun, filed 3 pro se cases, and the judge, I will not say her name, the judge in Young is the same judge that had this taser case. But anyway, she ruled in his case the 3rd time around, right after McDonald came down from the Supreme Court and incorporated the Second Amendment to the states. And she basically said he does not have a right to carry a firearm outside his home. Second Amendment doesn't apply outside your home. I mean, whatever. There's more than that, but that's enough. So he didn't know what to do. And so Alan knew him and appealed it like 3 or 4 days before it was, the time had lapsed. And so then from 2012 till last year, March of 2021, I think. I'm trying to think, man, it's just been so long. We've been fighting in the Ninth Circuit for Mr. Young. And so the panel decision held that you have a right to carry outside the home openly, because in the Ninth Circuit, there was another case called Paruta that said you don't have a right to carry outside the home concealed, but they didn't talk about open carry. So then we made them discuss open carry. And they said, no, you don't have a right to carry outside the home openly. And in the Ninth, you don't have a right to carry outside the home concealed. So you basically, I don't know of any other method to carry a firearm, prison wallet maybe, but that's not
PWEDC is what we call it.
Yeah, that's not what we were asking for. And so then when we won on the panel stage, the 3-judge panel, the state asked for rehearing en banc. They hired one of the best attorneys you can hire, which was Obama's former Solicitor General. So good for them. They spent a lot of money on him. I think $250,000. Meanwhile, we have not made $1 in Young. Went to the en banc court, which was, I think, 12 judges, and we lost. And then we petitioned the Supreme Court. It just so happened that Bruin was at the Supreme Court and got granted. So we were held pending Bruin.
And because the cases are very similar. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I know, but let me tell you what. So Young is actually a better case than Bruin. So New York, people, I know, right? Because you think New York's so bad. No, Hawaii's worse, bro, because they don't issue permits at all. New York issues permits. You can get a permit to carry in New York.
Right.
Upstate New
cannot-
York,
Right. If you're
mostly.
Howard Stern, Donald Trump.
But well,
Yeah, you get a
upstate New
permit.
York. If
Yeah,
you go to
like, I've got a-
upstate New York, and you can
Yeah,
get
go to Albany. Go to Albany. Go
Yeah.
to Fulton County. You can get a permit, unrestricted permit. You can carry anywhere except New York City.
Fulton
but anyways.
County.
Yeah, yeah. There's some story coming out of there, bro. You just wait and see. You just wait.
Oh yeah,
I don't
that
want-
dude.
I don't wanna let the-
dude. Oh,
I don't wanna let-
I just
don't
want
say
to say.
anything. Don't say anything about it. Yeah, because just trust me when I tell you what's coming next. You're gonna be like, you know, thank you.
Okay, no, I just want to say I talked to the sheriff and I have a video over there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, we're gonna be talking to him again.
yeah,
so-
he got a law degree out of a Cracker Jack box or something.
No.
because of-
I'm telling you. Yeah, you'll see what happens. He's a solid dude now, so he's good to go in my book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll call you. I'll call you when I get done with this.
All right.
So yeah, so Young
Richard's like,
is.
damn it.
I know. Yeah, don't say anything bad. So Young got GVR'd, granted, vacated, remanded back down to the Ninth Circuit in Bonk, maybe back down to the Ninth Circuit panel. Who knows what the heck's going to happen next?
So what that means is, in light of the Bruin decision, the Ninth Circuit needs to rule on this.
Yes, in light of the Bruin decision, we're granting Young's petition. We're vacating the Ninth Circuit en banc decision. It's wrong.
Okay.
And we're remanding it back to them in light of Bruin to be reconsidered under Bruin's new standard of step one. Does this affect the Second Amendment? Yeah. Okay. End of story. And I know it's an overgeneralization. It's oversimplification, but it's the same kind of case as Bruin, except worse because no one issues permits in Hawaii.
So now, what options does the Ninth Circuit have? What can come out of it?
I have to be respectful. Well, I mean, like I've got like two processes going on. It's like, what can they do?
Mhm.
What can you do? You're bound by the Supreme Court. Good, proper cause was struck down in
Right.
New York. Proper cause appears to be a lesser standard than exceptional case language in Hawaii. So now what are you going to do?
To simplify things, the Bruin case made every state shall issue. So there's no subjective test anymore. It's like, hey, I apply for a permit. I don't have felonies. I don't have, misdemeanor, abuse. Give me a permit.
I hate to say yes, but because it's an oversimplification, right? Because there's always going to be New York has gone into this good moral character thing that I don't know what it means yet. I know.
You have to give social media post.
Yeah, and that's blatantly unconstitutional. And hey, New York, we're gonna see each other really soon. I'm dead serious. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I might. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really excited. I mean, I'm tired because of I'm 6 hour time difference and all the other stuff going on, and having to prepare for this, beat down in the Ninth Circuit, which I thought went fantastic. I was really pleased with my performance. I'm a little biased, but I thought it went really well, and we'll see what happens. I mean, anything. When you get into court, anything can happen. They can rule against you. You think that you did fantastic, and then it turns out, hey, you lost, and that's okay. That's litigation. That's what happens.
No, that's what I tell a lot of people when people are like, "Oh yeah, we are positive that this court's going to rule this way." We're positive. Like anyone who says that they're positive with which way a court's going to roll, either
they're wrong.
Don't know what they're talking about,
or they're lying.
Lying.
Yeah.
You
So
can't tell.
I never tell clients, and the Mississippi rules of professional conduct prevent us from saying stuff like that. And I would never say anything like that because you never know how things are going to come down. I can say that it would have been extremely difficult for this judge in the district court in Hawaii to rule against us in tasers. And the reason that I can say that is all of the other taser cases, stun gun cases, have come down in our favor. And we've litigated New York, New Jersey, someplace in Maryland, Nassau County. God, I can't even remember all the places. Rhode Island, all of these different places. They've come down in our favor. So it's like, how are you going to rule against us? do it if you want, and that's okay, because that's what happens in litigation. You win some, you lose some. It's fine. That's why we have appellate courts. That's why we have the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
pumped.
yeah, the court cases are definitely like people who say that. Oh, I wanted to ask you about something, and because you are an attorney, a pretty damn good one,
Yes.
and I got into some debates about the West Virginia versus the EPA thing,
Yeah.
where some
I
people
haven't read it. I haven't read it. I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah,
some
I haven't
people.
read it yet.
Okay, I was saying some people claim that it killed Chevron deference,
No,
and
it didn't. It
it
absolutely did
didn't.
not kill Chevron. No, it didn't. I know that much. So, as you know, there has been a lot of Supreme Court opinions that have come out recently that affect a lot of the litigation that I do, Bruen, Young, and my entire last 2 weeks have been living and breathing Young, Bruen, in this case, and
And a couple other ones maybe.
yeah, and some other case somewhere in the north. That-
You're giving away more than I did, man.
no, I'm not.
Which I
giving-
was hoping, like, I was hoping to
Yeah.
drop that
God
information
bless
yesterday.
America.
but-
I'm so irritated. You know, let me just check my email. Let me just
No,
check my email.
I talked to someone and they said
Did you?
that there's a case number, but nothing has
Man.
been totally filed. So that's probably not.
So
until
Justin
tomorrow.
Trudeau is going to be hearing from you, is what you're saying?
Oh man, yeah. What a tool.
Don't say
What a
anything.
tool. Yeah. Are you in Canada?
No, I'm in Florida.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, maybe he has jurisdiction over Florida. I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be.
but no, but it's probably not gonna be till tomorrow, Stephen.
Well,
That's a
his dad's
shame.
Cuban, so there's a lot of Cubans in Florida.
There you go.
Yeah, the whole 4th of July thing.
I know. I mean, I was so upset. This is a story for another time. But apparently, in that court, you can't do electronic filing like for initial complaints, like we can in DC. So, yeah. I know.
Yeah,
all your
I'm
viewers
about
are
to
like,
pull my
"What the heck are
laptop
they
ready to
talking
go.
about?" Yeah, I know your viewers are probably like, "What are these dudes talking about?"
Good
Something's
stuff's
coming.
coming.
Wait till
Something's
tomorrow.
coming. Yeah, I know. I can't stand it. I just the delay, a day delay. You know, I've been waiting in Young for a long time, and then Roberts, excuse me, Roberts has been stayed for 953 days as of today. District Court will not rule on it.
You
Just-
should've
yeah,
went
I
for
know. How
1,000.
stupid is this? Yeah, because it'll change in 1,000 days, right? When Young's
No,
So
no,
that's
no.
speedy justice.
right, speedy justice. All right,
No,
what'd
I
y'all
just-
think about? What'd y'all think about the argument? I mean, any
No,
points?
no. I liked it. I like how you kind of appealed to emotion as well. By like, I'm spending my own money to be here. That's how
Yeah, I
much I
am.
believe in this case.
I am, dude. This is $4,000.
How?
$4,000.
Did you bring your family with you?
No, they're at home. No, it's
I'd get my
just
butt
me.
kicked.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, how do you bring your family with you when you have to come over here? $1,600 plane ticket
Right.
times three. I mean, I got a wife and a 10-year-old times, another times
Yeah.
three. And, granted, the hotel's not going to be any more expensive, but food is expensive over here. I mean,
Mhm,
the only food
mhm.
I buy is literally a pizza.
Well, that's why I stay at the Halikoa.
What is that? Is that a hospital?
Military.
It's a military
Oh,
thing where like
got
all
it.
the prices are controlled, so it's the same prices on the mainland.
Got it. The mainland.
So you can instead of paying $11 for a quart of milk, you can get a whole gallon for like $3 or whatever.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've got a whole bunch of cases that works, obviously, and we've got some other cases that when I have time, and I intend to spend a couple hours on New York today. Got to read their law because now I have time to read it.
So what's going on in New York? I mean, is this going to be like Palmer versus DC, where they're going to say, "Hey, constitutional carry, have a good day"?
I don't think they're going to say constitutional carry, and I'll tell you why. Kavanaugh's concurrence was a really bad concurrence because he, for some
Yeah.
reason, wanted to say, well, look, this is what we're not doing. I like beer, and I do too. I'm not going to, let's list out all the different things that this opinion doesn't do, which is unnecessary in my opinion. He doesn't need to list out all these different places that the ruling has no effect on. But
Yeah,
they're not.
Was Kavanaugh's concurrence a vanity thing? I mean, what?
I don't know. I mean, it's like a gun control talking point, in my opinion. Here's what our opinion doesn't do. Well, okay, dude. I don't really appreciate. I don't appreciate it because it's unnecessary. And, he's a justice. He can do whatever he wants. I still support him because he ruled in our favor. I like that he joined the majority, but I think his concurrence was unnecessary. So, but no. To get back to your question on, like
Open carry or constitutional carry in New York?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't think because of all of these different things in the Bruen opinion that say they can still regulate it. It didn't change the fact that they can regulate it. It's just that they can't, under the guise of regulation, ban something. And that's what New York has done. And that's what Hawaii does. And that's why Hawaii is going to get, it's a good word for it, beaten. That's the most polite word I can think of right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to say something else, but
right.
No, well,
So-
what I think Richard's talking about is when DC kept on playing games.
Yeah.
When they lost Palmer,
Mhm.
and then the judges got fed up and said, "Screw it! Until you
Yeah.
get a good rule in, we're just gonna void all law."
Yeah, so they're not going to lose their permitting system. It will be a permitting system, but it's going to be a permitting system that can be complied with, and it's a permitting system that's going to be, wholly objective. Of here's the standard: you have to have 5 hours of training, which is not going to happen. But you have to, be able to shoot 80% at 10 yards or whatever. It's going to be non-prohibited person stuff like that. It's not going to be this crap about, you want my social media posts? I mean, what other right do you need my social media posts for? This
Right.
reminds me of the IRS under Obama and the Tea Party stuff when they were saying, do you pray? Well, yeah. I mean, why are you asking me that? It's like, what do you pray about? Well, that's kind of invasive.
Yeah, that's kind of nutso.
What are the contents of your prayers? Do you pass around prayer? Who the hell do you think you are? You're not going to get to check my social media. Are we going to do that for voting? No, of course not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nodding because good point. It's like none of your, just like Thomas said in Bruen, it's not a second class right. All of your other rights you have, there's no test for them.
Yeah, and criminals get to exercise most of their rights, right? Like the Fourth Amendment, like the Fifth Amendment, Eighth Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. It's like this stuff doesn't apply to me. I'm not a criminal. Right? I mean, of course, I have the right to remain silent. I lack the ability, but I have the right. So.
Yeah, that's I can attest to that.
Yeah, But I get paid by the hour, so I have to keep talking.
Yeah. Some of my FOIA request is actually through Steven.
Yeah. So you're biased, obviously.
Yeah, Steven called. Hey, you want a FOIA about this? Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, no, I have some good FOIA ideas. I mean, I've got. It's probably not the right time to talk about FOIA stuff, but I love FOIA because then you get to kind of see what the government's doing, and a lot of times it's just not good stuff. I've got a case right now for an AmmoLand reporter, David Kodria, about Hunter Biden's firearm.
Yeah, I know about that.
The ATF does not want to say whether or not they even investigated it. They're like, Hunter Biden has a privacy right. I'm like, Hunter Biden wrote a book about his crack usage. Oh, and by the way, his laptop. And he abandoned it. So under DC Circuit precedent, that laptop is abandoned property. Overturn your precedent if you don't want to give me his stuff. Yeah. Oh man, it was just I don't know. I can't.
David Kodria is a good guy.
He's a super good guy. And I do a lot of FOIA work for him. I do a lot of FOIA work for Len Savage, who is just is also a very good guy. He's a manufacturer out in Georgia, and he makes machine guns. He's a Historic Arms LLC. He's just a great all around good guy, patriot, all that, whatever. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I've talked to him before. I think I talked to him through you for some reason. I can't remember
All
why.
right, I don't even remember, man. There's so much stuff that goes on. Like I have a hard time, keeping up with it. I have a book, it's my composition book. This is where I keep all my ideas for stuff. So if Hawaii, I guess, wants to screw me up, they could just come take it. And it has like everything. I just travel with it, so it has like everything I think about. I write stuff down, and
Why
it
don't you
always
s-
goes with me.
Why don't you just
So
store it somewhere on
snapshot
the
each
cloud?
page with your phone.
Yeah, I don't even want to store it online, so I just take a book with me and write it down. I don't
No.
know. Yeah.
All right.
But-
So we called Rob Olson the chicken farmer because he raises chickens.
Yeah.
And somebody actually was on the phone with Steven and was like, "Are you the one that's the chicken farmer?" Steven's like, no.
I don't have any chickens. I've got nothing. Yeah.
So we gotta think of a name for you. So everyone out there, all the people out in the audience, come up with a name for Steven.
No,
And-
I already got a name. Let me tell you about the name. So a couple years ago, I think it was 2014 or 2015, I filed machine gun cases, Hollis v. Lynch and Watson v. Lynch, or Beholder at the time until Loretta Lynch took over. They call me the machine gun lawyer. It's going to be 1,000 times better than whatever you think of. The machine gun lawyer, not this other nonsense about the chicken lawyer, or chicken farmer. Like no one wants that.
That's
Machine
the
gun
reason why we gave it to Rob,
Yeah.
because no one wants it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, wait, didn't FFL, like, Rob's picking up a gun, ask him if he was the chicken
Yeah,
farmer?
something like that.
Yeah, that's terrible. I don't want that. So machine gun lawyer, suppressor lawyer, Mr. Awesome, whatever you want, something like that. But like, come on.
Okay, guys, get a better name than machine gun lawyer. You know what I'm talking about.
So, hey, I got a question about Bruin. Did you read all of Thomas's opinion and like digest that?
So yes, I've read it. I can't say that I've digested all of it because like even when I reread Heller, and Heller was 2008, there's always something new that I pick up. And I've read Heller, I don't even know how many times, but it's I'll read it again, and then I'll pick something else out. And it depends on the cases that I've got. Like sometimes someone will call with a new issue and say, it's whatever, issue X. And I'm like, I remember something in Heller, let me go see it. And it's like, I remember something in McDonald. And so like, I've got this thing with Bruin now. We've got cases in the Ninth Circuit right now over Hawaii registration, over butterfly knives that Hawaii bans, but I know it's silly. But I got plaintiffs that, like Filipino plaintiffs are like, I grew up with Balisong. I want a butterfly knife. And I'm like, sorry, Hawaii bans it. It's a little racist because they banned it because of you, but, well, not my plaintiff, but Filipino. And then we've got batons in California. California bans you from carrying a baton, period. You can't carry one. Well,
that's crazy.
I know, because my guy's got like a permit to carry. It's like, I carry a Glock, but I also want a baton. Well, what's the interest there for California to ban a baton? So Judge Benitez, Saint Benitez, ruled that the law was longstanding and didn't analyze the law. And he just said the law is longstanding under Ninth Circuit precedent. And it is longstanding under Ninth Circuit precedent, kind of. Bruin erases that. It stops it because the law in Bruin, in New York Rifle, was older than the law in our case. God, it's like slipped my mind. But anyways, it's older than the case that we have in California. So it's like, now what? Court, try again. Judge Benitez, go again. You're not bound by a long-standing anything. Like, have fun. Hopefully, rule in our favor. Hopefully,
I'm gonna forward you a message for later on. I'm gonna send it to Rob too.
We just got a whole bunch of filings.
Oh, are they in?
Yeah.
Can we break it?
I don't know. Should I text someone?
Yes. Ask him if he can break it. We'll break it here live with the attorney
I don't have
of
my video
record.
recorded.
Sorry, Rich. Let's see here. This might be big news, guys.
So where I was going with Bruin is the way I read it is there are a lot of Easter eggs in there. There's a lot more than just, shall issue.
There's a whole lot in Bruin. There's a whole lot, and it's one of those things that we're going to have to take time. Don't pop off and just file something just to file it, and really understand what the law is. We're going to have to do our own historical analysis on some of these laws. So New York is the perfect case where a lawsuit should be filed right now challenging what they just did. It's so unconstitutional. It's so anti-Bruin that there's no question. And that's one of the only cases right now that should be immediately filed. Now, there's other
All
cases.
right, so my understanding of Bruin is Thomas said, hey, New York, don't do any of these things. And New York did all of them, passed it into law, and
Plus
signed
some.
it.
Plus some.
Yes.
Yes, plus some. Because, the social media posting, I have a public Twitter where I troll New York pretty hard. And the New York Senate actually blocked me because I told them, hey, I'm about to sue you. Which, by the way, if you get blocked by a government account, New York Senate is a government account, it's a First Amendment violation. And there's a group called thefire.org, THEFIRE.org, that are looking for people that get blocked by government accounts, especially New York Senate. So I'm dead serious. I contacted them and I'm like, these jokers blocked me. I don't want to be a plaintiff in a case, but I would absolutely sue them for First Amendment violations. The government has to respect the Constitution. Period. End of story. I'm not even gonna debate you on it. So if a government account blocks you, and you know who gave us this body of law? Thanks, Trump, because Trump blocked some people on Twitter and they got their little knickers in a twist. And what they did is they sued. And the court, of course, because it was against Trump, fell over themselves. And they came to the right conclusion that the government can't block you. But still, now we're left with this great body of law that says the government can't block you from expressing your views on their government pages. Facebook, Twitter, I'm sure Instagram's in there something, but I don't know anything about Instagram because I'm not on it. But I am on Twitter. Stambo2A, I think, is my username. And I just basically post about the work I do and then troll New York because New York's terrible. And man,
So the decision, the Twitter decision that fell against Trump is another one of these things that's maddening. It's just like the Democrats eliminating the filibuster for judicial nominations. It's like, really, you don't think that's going to go bad on you?
Hey, Steven, I just texted you something that is from a holster company. So,
man, this is just too much stuff. It's never ending.
Yeah,
I don't even know why this would matter.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So my good friend that I was just texting with, Crump, is not reading the messages because it tells me when it's being read.
Oh, you sent me back?
No, not to you. My other good friend.
Oh, okay. No, but check this out. Do you see?
I see yours. I see yours. I just need to have some more information on that before I can pop off on a recorded YouTube channel.
No, I'm not gonna ask you. I'm just saying, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'll dig into it some more.
But the government's corrupt. So, so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Crump, what are we gonna do?
It's up to you, man. It's not.
It's not up to me. I'm not gonna do something that I'm not supposed to do.
Case.
Can I mute myself real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do.
You're muted. My big story that I was talking about, it might involve Steven here. one of the parties of the story.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So we might be breaking some really big news here.
I was going to ask a question, but the question would give information,
No,
so I'm not going to ask.
No, there's also some other crap going on that's kind of crazy. That doesn't make any sense, but we are working on it.
So is there news that I don't know going on?
Yeah, they just came in while we were on.
Mm-hmm.
Steven never even know the whole thing. I just got it. Just government is going crazy, man. That's all I gotta say. They lost
Right.
their effing damn mind. And here comes
Okay,
Steven.
no,
And he's
no
back.
answer. No answer. Nothing. No answer.
No answer. Last I heard, there was a case number, but there was no document quite yet.
Well, I mean, it's everything's filed. It's all filed. It's public record right now.
Well,
But I don't want to like steal thunder. 'Cause-
well, it's supposed to be my thunder. That's why I helped you guys. That's why I spent hours on the phone, man.
Oh, that's so
Hey,
funny.
hey, your plaintiffs might be watching.
I know.
Yeah, basically, the plaintiff in the case. I'm gonna turn off the camera for 1 second. I'm gonna check Pacer. The,
Wow.
yeah, the you know, yeah, but yeah, I'm not gonna say much more than that. But yeah, it's public record. So
It's so.
But just like the Attorney General learned of California, because it's public record doesn't mean you need to share it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. While we're waiting, let me show you this. I thought this was pretty cool.
Is
So
it a coconut?
It's not a coconut or a pineapple. My clients in Hawaii gave me this. They presented us with like Alan and me with an award, which I'm not going to
Oh,
be able to show
wow.
you. Yeah, come on, why can't I do this? But stupid
Very
man.
nice.
I hit our friend
Hold
up
on.
on Signal.
Yeah, you got to read.
In recognition of your exceptional work to restore the right of the people to keep and bear arms in Hawaii, your pursuit of the Second Amendment rights litigation in the hostile Ninth Circuit Court is commendable. The people of Hawaii thank you for your service, Hawaii Firearms Coalition. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that
Very
I thought
cool.
that was really nice, because we do a lot of work out here, and a lot of times, litigation is kind of a thankless
Hmm.
task. We spend long nights. We're on the phone. I mean, Trump can tell you. Like, I talked to him at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, hey, bro, I'd really like to spend like the next 10 minutes with my daughter before she goes to bed. And I work, all hours of the day and the night, and but it's my passion.
Yeah, we were working on stuff together, and a lot of the stuff had to be done after hours
Yeah.
or whenever it was
it's one of those
possible.
things. Yeah, you work when you can work, and so that's what we do. Man, I wish we could talk about that. It's such a big deal.
Yeah, I just sent a Signal.
So
trying to beat
How many-
anyone else.
How
from
many
looking it up.
viewers? This doesn't tell me how many people are watching this. Like
Right
5
now,
people?
70.
70? Where is
Yeah.
everybody?
I mean,
Must be
I
late.
mean, if you want, I can go to my live channel, then we'll get like 1,000.
It's just not on your live channel. What is this?
I mean, this is my live channel, my news channel.
the news channel.
Oh, this is some news, bro. Like, come on, why aren't you like double streaming or double something?
Well,
Yep,
I mean,
you could do it.
if we were definitely breaking it, we would.
You would interrupt your something for breaking news. Yeah.
Yeah, but he, damn it, right back.
Yeah, it's so anticlimactic.
So do you think
what she said.
Bruin also could give way to constitutional carry?
Not with not with Kavanaugh.
Right.
I think some states are going to go constitutional. I couldn't tell you which ones, but some states will definitely go constitutional carry. The thing about Bruin that gets me really excited, because I'm a machine gun lawyer, MACHINE gun lawyer, is I really like.
they call you Gun Matlock. That I like that one better.
No, that's no, it's machine gun war. So
I like gun matlock.
No, suppressors. I like suppressors a lot.
Gun matlock though.
So I will give
cover-
you a little tease of there's one state that is not Hawaii that bans suppressors that I will be seeing them very soon over their suppressor ban.
Oh.
I know I hate being so cryptic on stuff, but you know it's one of those things like you have to be careful what you say because there's all kinds of you know I'm sure moms demand action. People watch what Trump says.
Oh, the ETF does. Dude.
Yeah, of
dude.
course.
Dude. We went and we started dropping Bonta's information after he doxed everyone.
Yeah.
We got struck down like right away, and then I got to my Crumpy info at Crumpy.com. I got a comment from them which I did not request, saying, you know, it was an accident, blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, like they struck down my video. So Bonta's office is definitely watching.
Well, California is going to have some problems, but I don't believe California. I don't know if California bans suppressors, but they're not on my list of suppressor challenges yet. But
I'm
yes,
coming.
suppressors are high on my list. I actually have a case in DC right now over suppressors. So maybe that does it. We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up here. I'm sorry. My dinner's ready. Rob's not.
Dinner trumps. Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking about it. My dinner's ready, and no, I got to drive back to freaking Virginia in like an hour.
Stephen, when you talk to John later, ask him why he didn't drive back to Virginia yesterday because there was something he could have done.
Okay.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and end it right here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Stephen, for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
And with that, we're gonna end it right here.